Are you tired of city noise but still want the Austin lifestyle? I mean, Austin's awesome, but you don't have to live right in the middle of all the chaos. I mean, if you're dreaming of a little more space, a little more calm and quiet, maybe even living next to the golf course or in a new home, then this video is for you today. I'm breaking down my top 5 favorite suburbs with all the information you need to make the decision if it's the right one for you. I'm Nicole Cooper, and I've been helping people buy and sell in Austin and the Hill Country for over a decade, especially those looking for a little more space, better schools, and access to those awesome golf communities. I mean, after all, I played golf at the University of Texas, so I know what it means when someone says, I want to live on the fairway. Now let's take a look at the map and dive right into these suburbs. And keep in mind, I'm saving the best for last, so you're going to want to stick around and see which one is my absolute favorite. The first suburb we're going to start with today is Cedar Park. It's kind of where amenities meet a bit of affordability when we're talking about properties and homes around the Austin market. As we dive into the map here, you can see it's about 30 minutes northwest of downtown, and it is kind of known for, it's got good schools, it's more affordable than Austin, it has a public transportation train that will bring you to downtown, and it's on the tech corridor. And the tech corridor can be what we refer to here as Highway 183. The domain is right here, and so you have companies like Indeed, Apple, all sorts of startup companies, lots of offshoots from the larger Apple, Dell, Samsung, IBM, things like that, National Instruments. So if you are in the tech industry, Cedar Park might be a very good spot for you because you get a little bit more house for your money when you go further from Austin. So this community could be for young professionals looking for that balance between amenities, things to do, and more affordable homes. Now let's take a look at the schools. All the schools in Cedar Park feed into Leander ISD, and Leander gets a grade of 89 out of 100 per texasschools.gov here. Their enrollment is 41,543 students. This graph here in the middle is the diversity graph, and then at average, we're going to have about 14 students per teacher. Okay, the next important thing, what's the golf like in Cedar Park? Well, you have 3 options actually. You have a public, a semi-private, and a private. So you have all 3 options. Let's start with the public. It's called Crystal Falls Golf Course. It's the furthest up north, and it's in the Hill Country. So you're going to have some beautiful views there and a lower tee sheet or a lower fee to play each time because we've got a public golf course there. So we go from Crystal Falls, we're going to go to our semi-private over here at Avery Ranch. Avery Ranch is 18 holes, a little bit flatter than our other Cedar Park golf communities. This one is in the middle of a master plan community, Avery Ranch community, and next to the park on that back side of the water there. They do have a driving range and a practice facility, and it's a great spot to play. A nice, I'd say kind of an average green fee there. It sometimes can get pretty high on the weekends and high times, over $100, but nice place to play. Keep in mind, sometimes the greens get a little dried out in the summer, but it's kind of hard to keep the greens in great shape when it's over 100 degrees for like 3 months straight. So anyway, moving on to the next course. So from right here at Avery Ranch, we're going to head out a little bit further west, and this is our private country club, Twin Creeks Country Club. Great club, low barrier to entry at like $15,000 initiation fee. That's one of the lowest in town. So I know it's still a lot of money, but if you want to be a member of a private country club, this is one of the best bangs for the buck. It has a lot of undulation out there. Look, you're teeing off up here and hitting way down there to that par 3. So you've got to have your irons dialed in, especially on windy days, because once the ball gets above those treetops, it gets blown all over the place. But Twin Creeks is a great club. They have the swimming pool and the fitness center and all the other amenities with tennis and pickleball, dining, and things like that. So overall, Cedar Park is going to be our most affordable out of our top 5 suburbs today. Lots of shopping, things to do, good schools. You've got 3 different types of golf courses all nearby. You've got a lot of hiking trails and outdoor activities, and you have the train that will bring you to downtown. We don't have a lot of public transportation options in Central Texas, and it does have a train that will bring you right to downtown. So that's a highlight of the Cedar Park community there. All right, let's check out our next neighborhood. The next suburb we're going to talk about today is Westlake Hills, Westlake and Rollingwood. Now, if you look at the map here, it's actually, pretty much in Austin. However, it's its own city. It's incorporated, and therefore, we're calling it a suburb. Now, Westlake Hills is probably most known for a luxury kind of lifestyle, high-end homes, and the best school district around. And that's Eanes ISD. So not only does it have proximity to Austin, it has proximity to the lake here. So as I blow this map up a little bit bigger, some of these homes here that actually on the lake, you're gonna have some that have downtown views, actually a lot that have downtown views, because this part of town is very hilly, and everyone that did have an option to build a downtown view has. So being close to town with views, beautiful property near the lake, prices are the highest. So let's talk about that Eanes ISD. That's Westlake High School. If we look down here in texasschools.gov, they rank 97 out of 100. And they're also very small. Look, 7,809. That's quite a difference from Leander ISD that has 41,000. Austin ISD has even more. But 7,809 is very small for an independent school district. That's why Eanes can keep their students to teacher ratio low. They pay their teachers more. I mean, it's a really great school, which is why they get ranked for a grade for 97 out of 100. So your diversity graph is here in the middle, 13 students per teacher. People that have children, they will pay extra to be in this Eanes school district. They will, kind of really go to bat to try to get in that area because the schools are just that good. All right, in the Westlake area, let's talk golf. First, we have our oldest country club in town, Austin Country Club. It was established in 1899. Not always here, of course. It moved here, I think, in the 80s, but this is the golf tournament you see on TV. They've since moved the tournament, but that's the Pennybacker Bridge, and you can see how the golf just fronts Lake Austin. It's an absolutely breathtaking course. You've got 9 holes down here on the lake and then 9 holes back in the ravine. So you have different styles of golf, over, under the ravines, over and under the water. Well, you don't want to go under the water, but a lot of over the water shots on the front line. And then of course they have the dining, the swimming pools, pickleball, tennis courts, and things like that. I've actually heard a rumor that they're thinking about redoing the clubhouse to make it a little bit closer to the water, because right now when you're up at the clubhouse, which is totally cool and a great ambiance for happy hour, they have a really nice outside patio, you just can't really see the lake, and it's a shame to be that close to the lake and not taking advantage of it. So they're really considering building something a little bit closer to the water. We'll see. Up next, we're going to hop over to Westlake Country Club. Now, Westlake Country Club used to be called Lost Creek Country Club, but last year they did a remodel of the course, and they're still redoing some of the interior club, but they redid the course, some tennis courts, and some of the swimming pool and things like that outside, and they rebranded to Westlake Country Club. So it went from Lost Creek to Westlake. Now the dues are around $85,000, I believe, initiation fee, and they do have room in their membership at the moment. These things change, they fluctuate, the prices and the membership numbers. So at this moment, you can get in. They have great programs for the kids. They have swimming competitions there outside, and the golf course was redone by Laney Watkins. And lastly, in the Westlake area, we have the Barton Creek Country Club. Now, Barton Creek is probably our largest country club in town. Well, it's not probably. It is our largest country club in town. There are 4 golf courses, 3 in town, 1 out in Spicewood. The 3 in town, we've got the Fazio Foothills, Fazio Canyons, and the Crenshaw Core course. You also have the Omni Hotel right in the middle of the golf community. And so it makes for a large membership. You have people coming in, guests coming in from the hotel. They can play at the golf course. So the Fazio Foothills was the very first one established, and that that is where the Omni Hotel is. The Crenshaw Core was second. Then they did Lakeside, out in Spicewood, most recently done the Canyons, and they all have their own little kind of nuances and things. When you play the Crenshaw, you know, Ben Crenshaw was a great putter, so the greens are enormous. Fazio Foothills really goes through these creeks here like what's on the screen right now. Absolutely beautiful. Some par fives that just run along these creeks, some ravines you hit over, and then the Canyons has the highest views. I'd say you're hitting up the top of the ravines and over some canyons and things like that. So can't go wrong of any of them that you play. They're all super nice. And the initiation fee currently for Barton Creek is $175,000. They do not have space or open memberships right now. They have a somewhat short membership waiting list of about a year or two, but they do have some options where you can get in now with limited membership and still get to play the main courses while your number comes up. So if you're interested in that, then just comment below and I'll get you all that data. Be a full member at Lakeside with some partial membership in town, so it'll work out. So Westlake, think high-end estates, some mansions, hill country, hilltop views, city views on the lake, great golf courses, 3 right nearby, and the best schools in town. As for new construction, what you will find in Westlake is brand new homes in place of a tear down. There's no room left to have like a new community or a master plan community or anything like that. So when you find new construction, which there is quite a bit of new construction, but it is generally replacing a complete tear down. So those will be in the multi-millions, and it also depends on the size and the view as to how high the price is. Our next suburb is Dripping Springs, right out to the west of Austin. And Dripping Springs is mostly known for being just a little bit more cowboy, a little bit more out in the country. So you're going to have, by and large, some larger lots, unless you're buying brand new. And this does have some opportunity to buy some brand new homes there. But builders, by and large, the newer the homes are, the smaller the lots. They're trying to put as many homes on the land as they possibly can. So the lots have always gotten smaller in recent years. Now you do have some communities that have minimum lot sizes of an acre. And then of course you're going to find actual ranches there that go along with those rodeos. Now a cool fact about Dripping Springs, they have a few nicknames. They are the wedding capital of Texas, and they are the gateway to the hill country. And then they have this little saying, sipping and dripping. Why? Well, they have wineries, distilleries, and breweries. So they have the trifecta of drinking. That's why they land a lot of bachelor parties, a lot of bachelorette parties, and tons of weddings. It's a beautiful spot out in the country, and it's turning into a little city now, so you've got to get out there and check it out. If you head down to their main drag, it's called Mercer Street, and they have these little places, these little coffee shops, ice cream shops, of course, breweries and wineries down there, or not a winery, but a place where you're going to go have their Dripping Springs wine. So it's a cute little spot downtown. As for the schools, Dripping Springs has good schools too. If we check out down here, texasschools.gov, they get a 93 out of 100, and they have a smaller school district as well. It's a smaller town. The school enrollment for Dripping Springs, 7,859 students. Here's a diversity graph, and it's about 14.5 students per teacher. Now, Dripping Springs, what's it best for? Horseback riders, nature lovers, those looking for a little bit more space, and maybe not so much the golfers. There actually aren't any golf courses in Dripping Springs, so you have to come back into Austin, and the closest course is Gray Rock. It's on the west side of town, so you don't have to go through Austin, but it is a public course. I mean, they have some membership styles available, but it is considered a City of Austin golf course at Gray Rock. So here's the map into Gray Rock. As you can see, it's on the Dripping Springs side of town. It's 18 holes, pretty flat golf course, lots of trees. So you definitely have to hit it straight out there, but it's a good course. There's a couple of holes on the backside that you can hit on a par 4 or get really close to, high risk, high reward type thing. But here's their area by the clubhouse. It's really, really pretty. Where this fire pit is, behind that, you're looking out to 18 green there. And then behind that, that's water. So 18, you have to hit it straight off the tee, or you're in the water. But they have a nice big pavilion out there. They host a lot of parties and some weddings as well. Here's another view of their outdoor pavilion area and the golf shop behind it. So as for new construction in Dripping Springs, there are quite a few communities with new home choices or new homes available in them because there's still land there. So developers can buy big ranches or big chunks of land and build homes. So like I mentioned before, you're going to have some of those areas where it's a minimum of an acre lot, and then you're going to have some that have, you know, tenths of an acre on them. So you have to know what you're looking for, and because of these different sizes of land and homes, you're going to be running, you know, in the like 400,000s all the way up to over $1 million. So it just depends kind of what you're looking for, but you do have new construction choices in Dripping Springs. And out of all the 5 we're talking about today, Dripping Springs will have the most opportunity to find a new construction home. Our next suburb that we're popping to is Steiner Ranch. Okay, it's not really a city, but still, it's an area and it's outside of town. I mean, it takes over half an hour to get there, so I call it a suburb. We're calling it the Steiner Ranch and River Place area. And as you can see, it's out here to the west. Here's Cedar Park just up here, so you can get your bearings to where we first started. It's on the similar side of town. And here's Westlake Hills right down here. And then Dripping Springs going to be way over here in the bottom left corner of the map. So Steiner Ranch, it is a huge master planned community, 4,600 acres. It was a ranch before it became a community. Much of the land in Texas, it started as a ranch where people raised cattle on it. And then a developer bought it and turned it into a community. 4,600 acres, lots of different pockets of Steiner Ranch in that community, meaning you have the golf course that is kind of the anchor. That's in a gated area. And then you go outside that, there's a lot of other pockets of gated areas, and then there's a lot of it that's not gated. So one thing you have to know about the Steiner Ranch community is the HOA. So if you're going to live in the Steiner Ranch proper, you're going to have a large HOA fee, and then whichever section inside Steiner, you're probably going to have another HOA fee. So you're probably going to be facing dual HOA fees and rules if you live in that area. But a lot of people love it, so not to worry about, you just need to know it. Okay, Steiner Ranch is known as the land between 2 lakes. And why is that? Well, up here is Lake Travis, and down below is Lake Austin. See, right here in this area, we have Mansfield Dam. I'll show you a quick picture of it. Mansfield Dam separates the 2 lakes, and above it is Lake Travis, and below it is Lake Austin. Now, it's all the Colorado River, but we like to have it in sections and name it different things depending on where you are in Austin. And that there's another name for it when you get closer into town. So for this purpose today, we're just talking about Lake Travis and Lake Austin, and Steiner Ranch fits in this whole area in between there. And as you can see by the red outline there. And River Place is just to the right here. So when you consider Steiner Ranch and River Place the same kind of real estate, think hill country views, top of the hills. You're going to have golf course communities. River Place, not really very much gated. There's one small pocket of gated community. UT Club or Steiner Ranch, pockets of gated, but not overall gated. So it just really depends. For the most part, you're not going to be in a gated community in that area. But let's talk about the golf. So UT Golf Club, I mean, you know, I'm kind of partial to it. That's my alma mater. 18 holes. They have taken advantage of all the views out there. They have burnt orange golf carts. Here's the front of the club here. This is the back, out back. You can see to the left, that's the back of the patio where you can sit outside and have drinks or food. And over to the right, that's 18 green. And it is, it's a very challenging course. I really like the challenge. The greens are fast and tough. This is 18 finishing hole. If the pin, I mean, there's 3 sections to this green. I'm not even going to go into detail. You just need to know how to putt well out there. But the UT Club right now, I believe they're running an $85,000 initiation fee, and they do have some spots open at the moment. Now for the schools here for Steiner Ranch and River Place, they both feed into Leander ISD, the same as Cedar Park. So we've already gone over this information. They get an 89 out of 100. The one good thing about this area is they feed into Vandergrift High School. And Vandergrift High School is a very highly rated school in town. They get 93 out of 100. Their total enrollment's 2,719. Here's the diversity graph in the middle, and almost 17 students per teacher. So a lot of people move into this area to get into the Vandergrift High School. As for homes in this area, you're going to find a lot of different price points because River Place was started in the 70s and built out to today. So there's very little new construction there unless something's been torn down, which is not a lot of teardowns going on, more remodels, think remodels. And the UT Club side or the Steiner Ranch side, you're going to have, homes outside the gated area. They're going to start, might find something in the 400,000s, probably more in the 500,000s, and then go up over $1 million if they're maybe on the golf course or a little bit bigger. And then of course, if you get down into that area where they have lake views, then you're multi-millions. But for the most part around the two golf courses, you're probably going to be hovering between 800,000 and $1.5 million. So this area would appeal to people that want to be in a big master plan community that contains all the amenities within, and then be very near the lake with hiking trails all around and like some outdoor activities. All right, you made it to the fifth one, my favorite one. It's Lakeway. Did you guess it? So Lakeway is just out to the west of Austin, and it is by Lake Travis. So here's a good picture of what you can expect as a home on the water. And I wanted to show this picture because you can see these floating marinas out here. Lake Travis fluctuates with the rain or lack thereof. So all the marinas have to be floating because the water levels might be here one day, it might be over there the next day. So if you're not on a deep part of the lake, your boat could be actually on the rocks when the water goes out. So we'll go into that more in detail later, but it's a gorgeous part of town, a gorgeous part of the hill country. And it actually started as a retirement community way back when, and it has completely changed. It's got great schools now, all ages, all types live there. It's a city in and of itself. You don't have to come into Austin, but it's close enough that if you need to come in to do something, go to the hospital or go to big business or get to the airport, it's totally easy to do. You may ask, why is this my favorite community? Well, it has a little bit to do with the golf and a lot to do with the lake. So you're gonna have the most choices of golf in Lakeway, and you have Lake Travis. I mean, what could be better? So let's talk about the golf. You have 5 courses in the area. Well, one's still under construction, but it's coming really soon. So you have 3 private clubs and 2 semi-private clubs. The 3 private clubs, we're gonna start with the Hills and Flint Rock Falls. They were there first. The Hills was actually there first. And that was where I practiced a lot when I was in college. I loved the Hills. 18 holes, Flint Rock Falls. They're sister courses, and they actually, if you buy into the elite signature status at the Hills, you actually get 4 golf courses. So it's definitely the best bang for the buck in town. Right now it's running about $95,000 initiation fee. For that top tier, you get the Hills, Flint Rock Falls, Live Oak, and Yopon. So I think that's the best bang for the buck in town. Great courses, and you get 4 to choose from. So this here is the signature hole at the Hills. It's number 7, par 3. Depending on the wind and conditions, you're gonna have a medium to a long iron in there, but it's a brilliant hole. You've got to hit it over the scenery to get it on the green. And this creek runs all throughout the Hills golf course and the Flint Rock Falls. So, you're gonna have little meandering streams all along the side. So when you buy into that membership at the top tier, you're gonna also get membership to this World of Tennis. They have indoor courts in that big building over there. They have these pickleball courts, outdoor courts, and they have a huge swimming pool. One of them is even in the shape of a tennis racket. So it's a really cool complex when you're a member there. Also fitness facilities, spa, just like the other country clubs around, but a good value at $95,000. The next private club we're going to talk about is Spanish Oaks. Spanish Oaks is a hill country design. It is really, really kind of like what you'd think of as Texas traditional. It's got these limestone outcroppings. It's got a little creek running through it, and entry fee there, or the initiation fee, I should say, is $200,000. They're running right at capacity, but I do believe they have some spaces if you want to join today. And here's a nice view of the rolling terrain. You've got the creek down there to the left, and you've got a lot of undulation on the fairway, so you have to be careful. You have to know which side of the fairway to hit it on so it doesn't roll off into the creek or out of bounds when you hit it in the middle of the fairway. So it helps to play with somebody that knows the course. And here's another view where the tee box here, and you've got the fairway over there just behind the a little lawnmower. Now, Spanish Oaks Club is golf only. There are other things in the neighborhood, like they have a fishing pond and they have a huge swimming pool with volleyball courts and basketball courts and things like that. But it's not called Spanish Oaks Country Club. It's called Spanish Oaks Golf Club. So it is a bit different than the others in that regard. We have one more private club, but I'm going to save that for just a moment. We've already talked about Live Oak and Yopon, and they're over by the hills of Lakeway over here. That's part of that membership. The next one we're going to talk about is Falcon Head. 18 holes, semi-private, pretty good golf course. Actually, it's a really good golf course. It's just sometimes in the summer they can't keep up with the watering schedule, and when it gets really hot here, they lose some of their greens. But the layout of the course is great. It's a hill country design also. And what does hill country design mean? Well, you know, you have lots of undulation where you might be teeing off up high or hitting up to a green up high, and you have nice vistas in the background. All right, the last golf course I'm going to talk about, and it's the newest addition to Lakeway, the newest addition to the hill country for the moment anyway. It's called Travis Club. Now, Travis Club is going to be a small membership club just like Spanish Oaks, and they are just about ready to start allowing people to play a little bit of golf. It's been under construction, the homes are under construction, the infrastructure is under construction, but if you want to buy something new or have your house built from scratch, this is the opportunity. Travis Club has lots available. You can buy them completely blank. You can buy a spec house. It's going to be super cool. It's on Lake Travis. So you're going to have the opportunity to have a marina. You're going to have all the spa, all the things built out. But that's coming soon. I'll show you some pictures here so you can get an idea. This is going to be their signature hole. It's a par 3, number 5. I've been out there a few times. I've gotten to ride around. And if you're looking for some specific information on Travis Club, just Google my name and Travis Club and it'll pop up, because I have footage from when I was there. These are renderings because the grass doesn't look like this yet, but it's going to be a really, really nice club. And if you're looking for price points, the lots start just under $1 million and go up to about $3 million. And then of course your construction of your home is going to completely depend on how big you want the build out to be. But they have some builders in place that already know the area and know the architecture and the hill country limestone building on rock design. So you don't have to start from zero. You can start with the guys that already kind of know what's going on and know the rules. And this one, as far as the membership goes, it's vertical. So if your parents and kids, everybody in your family gets to play. It's like Boot Ranch out in Fredericksburg. All right, I've talked enough about golf. I got a little bit sidetracked. We need to talk about the schools. We need to talk about the real estate. So let's get over here to Lake Travis ISD. Here it is. Lake Travis ISD gets 88 out of 100. Total enrollment, 10,953 kids. Here's a diversity graph, and it's just over 16 students per teacher. Now, Lakeway as a whole, as far as real estate goes, I mean, there are a lot of options because Lakeway is quite big. You have old Lakeway from back in the 70s where you're, going to have remodels if you want something nice. You're going to have communities like Rough Hollow just behind old Lakeway, and has some new construction going on in there. And then Travis Club, that's all new. So you're going to have a lot of different options, a lot of different price points. Of course, if it views the lake, the price point goes up. But there's quite a few marinas out there as well. So if you have an inkling that you need to be on the water a lot, you have some opportunities. There's some boat clubs, so you don't have to have a boat. I know that marinas are hard to or boat stalls in the marina are hard to come by. So you might think about one of those boat clubs where you just rock up and pick what type of boat and go out and either go skiing or on one of the pontoon cruisers or whatever you like. So overall, Lakeway has got that luxurious lifestyle, lots of outdoor activities, the most golf available, and the lake lifestyle. So if you want that kind of strong sense of community with lots to do and still somewhat close to town, still pretty easy to get to the airport, Lakeway might be a good choice for you. So these are my top 5. We've got Lakeway, Dripping Springs, Steiner Ranch and River Place, Westlake, and Cedar Park. Which one did you like best, or what one would you prefer to live in? I'm so curious. Comment below. I look at them and answer them all myself. And hey, if you know someone else that this video would help, share it with them. See if it can help them figure out which neighborhood and which suburb is the best one for them. Now look, If you saw something here and you want to dive in and look at homes more closely, go in and view some in person, then let me know. Shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call. We're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. So until next time, be kind to yourself and others. Can't wait to see you around town.